Okay, so I will start the class now. And the weather is not good here, so there can be some connectivity issue and all, maybe. So if there is any issue, just write it in the message in the connection, or otherwise, I will check in between also. Uh, okay, so let me share my screen. Okay. This is week 6 of Foundation of R Software problem solving session taken by me, Kamna Mishra, and I'm from School of Mathematical and Statistical Sciences, IIT Mandi. The course instructor is Professor Salab from Department of Mathematics and Statistics, IIT Kanpur. So for those who have not joined before, can go through these slides regarding the timings, session link, YouTube link, and drive link. Okay. So for the today's class, we will go through what are the control structures, basically the loops, and in the last we will go through what are the functions, how we can define functions, because like sum, product, square root, like anything in which we will give some kind of value and it will give some result to us. Like function is basically what? Function is basically it is x to y. So we are giving something and it is giving us some other value. Okay, and it can be defined on different, like if it is a square root, this should be positive, and that will be positive. If we will take a square function, this can be negative, it can, and it will be positive. So there can be like different range and domain. So the domain is the values of this set of values of this, and range is set of values of this. So there are functions, we have seen some product, etc., etc., which were built-in functions. So now in today's class we will see in after uh, understanding the loops, we will see how we can define the our own functions, right? And at the end we will see, start the sequence, which we will see in like next week also. Okay. Okay, so firstly we will start from the for loop. So basically different loops are used for different work, right? So for loop, let's say there is for loop, there is while loop, there is repeat loop. Okay, so three kind of loops are there. uh, and then nested for loop or nested while or nested repeat, that is like we have understood nested if else, something like that. That means just for loop inside for loop, or while loop inside for loop, or anything like that. So that can be done according to the problem. But from the very basic, these three loops basically divides when we have different knowledge in advance. So basically for the for loop, what we need to know is that number of repetition. Number of repetition means it can be like 2 3 times, or it can be like a vector. So if I will say in here, so for loop is basically I in something, and then that command will be executed. So this we need to know. Okay, so we need to know whether we want to execute this for loop for 1 to 100, whether we want to execute it for some array like C 3 4 5 6, or not needed consecutive. So we can, it can be like 5 9 12. Okay, so that can be anything. So this information needs to be known in like prior knowledge. So for that, what happens is that I will, and here there will be either some kind of I or some constant function. So either it will be, let's say, print I, or it can be print 1, but it should not be like uh, print j. So it should not be like this. You can write it as a comma, like is string. That is a different thing. Like you have just given it, okay, just print or paste something like this. But otherwise, if you will give print j, then j is not known, right? So that here we will have something, some function of I. Okay, so this is for loop and it will execute like this. What happens is that if for I in C5 9 12, let's say, then what will happen? I in C5 9 12, then what will happen? I in 5 9 12 means I will firstly become 5. So I equal to 5. So if there is print I, then it will print 5. Then this command is done. Again, it I will become, I has become 5 already, then I will be 9, then I will be 12. So it will work until the last one. So this is how the for loop works. Now we will see, and I will use this R Studio, because in writing for loop, it can be a bit tough here if you will write. Uh, because let's say I will write for I in 1 to 100, and then there will be plus sign, so there can be some error. Okay, maybe because I'm not used to that. You can do the same. How you can do, you can create here R script, and then you can just copy paste in the R console. Okay, so here you need to create like two, and in this console you already have this. I have already created here, so it will come in the same page. I don't need to do cross sign or remove it like here and there. So I will do in the R course. You can do in R also, there is no issue, absolutely. Okay, okay, let me just do ESC. Okay, so let's say for the first I have for I in 1 to 10, and my work is print uh, I plus 2. Okay, and if I will run it, then this will write it like this in the console on its own, and then you can see the results. So for I is equal to 1, I have given I plus 2 as execution command. So when I is equal to 1, it is 1 plus 2 3, and then when I is equal to 2, it is I plus 2 2 plus 2 4, and it will work up to 10. So 10 plus 2 is 12. So that will be answer. Now what I can do is that uh, I can do, let's say I have defined some x vector. Okay, uh, 15, 18, 10, 19, and for I in x, print I square. Okay, so here it is I square. uh, what else we can do is that we can now, like according to our problem, what we can do is that inside the for loop, we can make use of other function like if we can use, right? So let's say for I in x, if I by 3 equal to 0, then print I square as print I. Okay. So what happens is that I have given for I in x. So I in x means I will be 15, 18, 10, and 19. So if it is divisible by 3, I percentage 3, that means the remainder is equal to 0. Then print I is square. So 15 is divisible by 3 and 18 is divisible by 3. So it will print 225, and for 18 it has print 324. Now if it is not divisible by 3, then print I. Then we can print 10. So 10 is not divisible by 3 and 19 is not divisible by 3. So it has print 10 and 19. So then we can use like for, and then we can use like if else or nested if else, or if else if. So there can be like a lot of ways we can make use of this for loop, right? Then what we can do is that we can make use of nested for loop. So please let me know if anyone have any issue till now in understanding for loop. Okay. So if there are no issues, then we can go for the nested for loop. Let's say we have defined another array, which is anything like 9, 14, 17, 18. Or let's say just up to 3, so that the lengths will be different. So what we can do is that for I in y, and then for j in x, print x plus sorry, I plus j, sorry. Okay. So this is the answer. Now let's just flip it, and then we will see together how it is working. So here the x was nested in the y. Now we will see y. Second. Okay. So this is the answer for I in y. Let me just copy it here. So what happens is that here we have given for firstly x, and here we have given firstly y. So what happens is that firstly it took I in y. So I in y is 9. Okay. So so I equal to 9, right? For this, I is equal to 9, and then for j in x, so j is 15, right? So firstly, it has print I plus j as 24. Next, what happens is that it will firstly do all for the j, right? So what will happen is that now it will be I will be 9. I is right now fixed, and it will do all the work for the j firstly. So j was firstly 15. So it has done like 15 plus 9, 24. Now the j will change. J will change to 18. So it will be 27. Now the j will change to 10. So it will be 19. And then j will change to 19. So 19 plus 9 will be 28. So this worked, right? For all the j, it worked. Now, uh, the I value once all the j done. So here, this one, for one I, like I is equal to 9. Firstly, all the inside work will be done. Okay. Next, I will change. So I will change to 14. Then it will start again from j. So 14 plus 15 will be 29. So this one is for I is equal to 9, and j is changing. This one would be for I is equal to 14, j is changing. This one would be I is for I is equal to 17, and j is changing. So it is working like that because I is outside. Sorry, y is outside. That means I is coming from y, so y is outside. Now, the same thing, we have just changed the inside and outside loop, and then here we can see that I is in x. So I is equal to 15, and then j will be 9, 14, and 17. So it will be 15 plus 9, 24, then 15 plus 14, 29, and then 15 plus 17, 32. So this one is for uh, I is equal to 50. This one is for I is equal to 80. This one is for I is equal to 10. And this one is for I is equal to 90. Right? So, and for J, it is changing like 9 4 17, 9 4 17, 9 4 17, 9 4 17. Here J is changing like 15, 18, 10, 19, and similarly. So that can be the difference when you do the nested loop. Like the outside command, one value will be taken, and then whole inside command will run for that. Again, once the whole inside command run, then the I value, the outside command change, and then the for whole inside command it will work. Is it like understood, like, or is there any issue with that? So I will repeat. Okay, so I mean, if there's no issue, I will continue, and if there is any issue, you can say in between also, or you can take some time to understand and say in the next class if you need. Okay. So this one was basically the nested for loop. So we have done with for loop and nested for loop. Now the break command, or we can see the loops firstly, right? And then we can see Actually, yeah, in repeat loop we will need break. Okay, so firstly we can see the break also. uh, what happens is that, let's say you have given I maybe, or I, let's say it is kind of iteration. When you work in a simulation kind of, you can work it like iteration or anything according to the work. So what happens is that, sometimes we want to stop that loop in some point. So if you have given, let's say, x from 1 to 1000, but you want up to 100 only, then we can do the break command according to that. Uh, so let's say uh, you have for I in 1 to 50, let's say, and if I is greater than or equal to uh, 29, uh, or you can do is that, if I is greater than or equal to 9, break, and then outside print. Okay. So what I have given, that if my I is from 1 to 50, but if there is I is greater than or equal to 1 to, or R is, sorry, if I value is greater than or equal to 29, then break at that point and print all I. So I will go through this command, if, and then it has print up to 28, because as soon as it is greater than or equal to 29, so it is 29, then it has done break command. Okay, so this one is for break command. Now the next we can use other command is next. If I will write the same, let's say, just instead of this, I have given similar this value, and I have given this next. Okay, and then print. Okay. So what happens is that I have given, if I is equal to 9, then next, and then print I. So what it has done, it has printed 1 2 up to 28, and then in the time of 29 it has break that command, and it is become 29. Sorry, let's say if I will do this, then it has print like a break command. Why? Because when I is greater than or equal to 29, it has done next, so it will not print the next value, it will go to the next I. So next I will be 30. Now 30 is again greater than or equal to 29, so it will go to next. So it will go to next, 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 and at the end there will be nothing to print, so it will print up to 28. Okay. uh, the other can be like, uh, if I is greater than or and I is less than or equal to uh, 35, then what it has done is that, when it is greater than or equal to 29, it has done next, So in the time of next, it is again 30. So 30 again next, and up to 35, it will be next. So it will be 36. As soon as it is 36, so in the 36, it is not here, right? So it will print 36. So it has left the numbers between 29 to 35. So this basically, this way of for loop you can use. Let's say if you have some kind of missing data, so there you can use, or you, if you have some kind of outliers in the data. So let's say you have 1 to 100, but you know that in 15 to 20 there are outliers, and for that particular I don't want to run this type of command, I want to do some different kind of analysis, right? So at that point, what you can do is that you can stop for that, and for that you can use next. Because if you will do break, then you need to give it here, this command, so you can check in what kind of like necessity according to your work you can make use of this break or next, or any other, like how you can use it. So this will be basically helpful in, uh, I mean, this can be like used in thousands of way, which I may not know, but there were one two which I can say. Okay, so that was basically the for loop. Okay, uh, the Okay. So we have gone through the for loop, nested, break, and the next. The next loop is a while loop and then a repeat loop. So while loop, in the time of while loop, you we don't give exactly the number of iteration, or the number of repetition. We give the command executed as long as condition is true. That means we say while like until, so until this is true, do this, or otherwise you can say something like or else. So we can use if else in that case. So it happens is that until it is happening, do this. Okay, so while is basically until this command is true, do this. That's it. uh, so So what we can do is that, while let's say, any number, uh, we can use any number, let's say I, and then we can take whether I is, while I is in between, I is greater than 10, and I is less than 20. uh, Print I, let's say square root of I. Why it is not print anything? Sorry. So we need to give I in here. So let's say I is equal to, uh, if you will give, if I will give, let's say 1 to 50. Okay, the condition has one left. Okay, so what happens is that I it is not accepting like in like happened in the if case. So what we can do is that, Instead, we can write just I is equal to 1, and then we can give the iteration like I is equal to I plus 5. So, s- uh, let me give some number in between this. So, what it has done is when I is while I was 1, so 1 was since not following any of this condition. So in the here, the first time it happened is that uh, the condition has length greater than 1. That means I has length greater than 1, so it is unable to execute this firstly. The next time, we have not received any answer because the I was 1, so I was not satisfying any of these condition. So the print square root was not working. Now let's say I is equal to just I plus 1 I'm writing. Then here I took I is equal to 15, so it is following this condition. So it has printed square root of 15. Then I is equal to I plus 1, so now I is 16, so it will print square root of 16. So it works in the opposite way, you can say. For loop, what happens is that I we choose and then condition apply, right? Here what happens, condition is applied first, and then we have changed the I, and then again the condition is working. So what happens is that firstly we have checked I is equal to 15, so it has print I is equal to square root of 15. Then I is changed to 16, then uh, I is changed to 16 firstly, and then square root of 16 is printed. So it has done up to 16, 17, 18, 19. So when I is 20, when I is 20, we can see it is not less than 20. So it has not print for 20. So this is how it worked, the while loop. Okay. Now, uh, these this was for loop, nested for loop, while loop, and next we will go through this repeat loop. So repeat loop is very simple. What happens is that it will repeat the command until you give the break command, but it can create a problem, like you are doing a so long uh, code, right? So what can happens is that if your code has 500, let's say, lines, and you forgot to give that break command, then it can be very problematic, right? Because it will just do repeating, it will take your all of your memory, and then it, like, uh, maybe you will not understand sometimes that why it is working like that. So we need to be a bit careful while using this repeat. So now let's say I is equal to 1 we have, right? And then uh, so for the repeat command, uh, let's say I'm writing print I is equal to sorry, let's say just print I uh, q. I cube. So then we need to say that I is equal to I plus 2, or I is equal to I plus 3, or whatever. Let's say I is equal to I plus 5, and do it until if I greater than 50, then so what I have done here is that I have given I is equal repeat the command. So we will see do what is the command needs to be repeated, needs to be done, needs to be print. So repeat the command this, and then change I is equal to I plus 5, and the if condition will when I is greater than 50, so it will be like 1 plus 5, so it would be 6, and then 11. So as soon as I would be 51, it will break the command. So it has break the command. So this is like very important step in using the break command, and this is also very important uh, uh, to save your memory basically. Okay. The other thing you can do is that you can do the break command or next command and a lot of things, like you can basically play with all those things, and you can see uh, like how it works. So there are a lot of ways you can do nested for loop, you can do while loop inside of for loop, and then you can in repeat loop you can take a break or next or etc. So if time will permit, we can do some other also, otherwise if it is understood then we will go to the next, and then we will do some examples. I hope it will be clear, and then if it will not be clear then we can do some other uh, examples or some other ways to do it. Okay. Okay, so we are done right now with loops, and the next is function. So, as I have said in the starting of class, is that the functions are basically we give it some value and it will give us some value, right? So the function is basically there are a lot of built-in function in this. A lot like the very basics are sum, product, square root, etc. And then according to the library, like you have let's say you have installed a library to use the distribution fit. So fit disturb plus, let's say you have installed that library, then in that library there will be a lot of function again. So there will be like a function to generate the data from random normal distribution, and then there can be other function like from exponential distribution. So there can be a lot of functions. There are already a lot of functions available. So let's say you want to find the square root, you don't need to write the command for everything. So what happens is that let's say you are working in something where some calculation needs to be done again and again, right? So what we do is that we try to formulate a function for that particular thing, right? So what I want to say is that let's say you have a data. uh, let's say since I work in the distribution, so I will try to give example of that. So let's say you have some kind of pdf, you have given some kind of distribution of your own. uh, let's say the pdf of that is given by something like that here. I mean, I will write something, but that is not a PDF right now. But let's say it is a PDF. Okay, so let's say I'm writing E is equal to minus X and lambda A B, right? So let's say I have given this a new distribution, and then I want to find what are the values of this density function on different values of x. So I want to find let's say if it is a discrete distribution, So I will have x values x1 2 3 4 etc etc. Or if it is continuous, then I want any random values. So let's say I want at 0.001, 0.002, and then 0.1, etc., etc. And then I want values. So the A, B, and lambda, these parameters will be fixed for that. So what I want to do is that I want to calculate it for x is equal to 1, then for 2, for 3, for 4. So it is very tough to write again and again this expression, right? Again and again this expression would be tough. So what we can do is that we just write it this as a function in R, and then we write f, like here x, and then we can write f1, we can write f2. So f1, f2, and fn will give us the value of this. We will define it like this. So this is the basic need of defining your own function. So the way of defining a function is, let's say I have defined a function, namely, uh, let's say I am defining it as uh, this. Okay, for distribution, I'm defining it like this, function, and then a function will contain what? So let's say x, and then I'm writing it as exponential of uh, minus x uh, star 3, right? So this is, I have defined a function. Now if I will write this of 3, then it will give me this value, which is minus 3x. So let's say plus, so that we can see also, then it is 8103. So it is basically a exponential to the power 9. So if I will write exponential 9, then it will have same value. So this is a way of defining function for your data. So now I can change any value. I can give 5, I can give 10, I can give a lot of uh, uh, calculation, right? Now, what we can do otherwise is that we this function, as you can say, I have just given x, right? Now what can happen is that maybe your a and b values are also not known, right? So for that we can define the function, like let's say this one is equal to function of x, a, and b. Let's say x, a, and b. Okay, and then I will write exponential of, let's say x star a by b, right? So I have given this new function, and then this uh, one would be uh, some value of x, let's say 3, some value of a, let's say 2, and then some value of b. So this one would be 3 to 5. So it would be 3 to 6, 6 divided by 5. So let us just check. Exponential of 6 by 5 is 3.20117. It is same as this one, right? So this is, I mean, you can define the as many number of variables you want for the function. It is not restricted that, and it is also not that you can see it is still very simple. So that does not mean if you have, like, you can give as number of variables as needed, but uh, this will not work, right? If you have given one time this one x a b, and you will think that it will take a b on its own again, then this will not work. So it, what it is saying is that argument a is missing with no default. That means if you have here three values, three variables you have defined, then you need to give here three values. If there is one variable defined, then you need to give one value, right? So that it can work like this. Also, you cannot give more number of values. It's not like that it will give 1 2 3 and then again. So if I will write 3 4 5 6, then also it will not work. That is unused argument. Unused argument means the six value, there is no variable to put that value, right? So x is assigned to 3, a is assigned, 4 is assigned in a, and then 5 in b, but for 6 there is no place, so you cannot do like this. So that was the very basic of uh, function. So there can be like a lot of function we will see. uh, okay, so uh, the next one is sequence. So sequence is basically we have the set of related number, or basically you give something like sequences. What you have from one number to another, you have some kind of values, some values, so that we will define in terms of sequence. So from 1 to 10 you can have a sequence which will give uh, 1 to like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. That is one kind of sequence. Another can be the gap of 1 to 1.5, right? So the difference you can choose by point 0.5. So there are methods you can see. We can also take the help for this, or we can just write from here help. I If I will write sequence as seq, then we can see what it is given. It is given that from 1 to 1, by, length out, and along with, etc., etc. So what you can do is that uh, there can be two ways basically. Let's say I have values, I am giving is from 1 to 10. So what I can do is that either I can just say length out. Let's say length out 20. So the length out for the 20, it will always give firstly the same distance. Okay, it will maintain the distance, so it will be 1 1.5 etc. If I will give it 10, it will divide it like 1 2 3 4 5 6 10. If I will give it 50, then it will be 1 1.2, uh, 1 1.2, 1.4, 1.6, 1.8, and then 2. So in that way it will do the work, right? Other thing is that you can just give by. So it will give according to by. Let's say by zero point 0.5. So it will uh, just break by zero point 0.5. So if you will give nothing, then it will work with 1, right? Because uh, that is like uh, by default. So if I will write sequence from 2 to 4, then it will give 2 3 4. If I will even not write this, then it will give 2 3 4. If I will write in the opposite manner, then it will give opposite manner 4 3 2. It's not like that you need to write as increasing sequence always. You can write it in a decreasing way also. It is also not important that you need to give this positive, so we can write 6 2 minus 5. So it will be 6 5 4 3 2 1 0, then minus 1 minus 2, etc etc. If I will give, let's say, the same, but now I want the difference by 2. Uh, Sorry, wrong sign in the argument. So in the time of buy, I think that time we can take minus 6 to 6 by minus 2. Okay. So in the time of buy, we can say that it is not working for uh, 6 to minus 6. Okay, so if the values are in increasing, then you need to give y the positive value. If the values are in decreasing, then you need to give y a negative value. So let us just write it uh, for sequence. So sequence uh, from uh, 2 and y. So if we want a sequence in increasing, for increasing sequence, by value needs to be positive. If we are giving, let's say this is just negative, but even if we have 10 to 6, then also we need to give y is equal to minus 2. It is basically just doing the plus sign, I think. So it is 10, then 10 minus 2. So if it will write 10 to 10 plus 2, then it will be 12. So, and then we want 10 to 6 in going in that direction. So for increasing sequence, pi value needs to be positive. For decreasing sequence, pi value needs to be negative, right? So that is one thing we can note, that for the decreasing, that needs to be positive, for increasing, that needs to be negative. uh, Also we can do it uh, like 10 6, and then it can be in point also, right? So it will give 10 9.5 9 8.5, etc etc. So these were the sequence when we use from, to, and by. The next one is that we can take uh, sequence, and then we can write 2 is equal to, let's say, 10, and length is equal to, length is equal to let's say 5. Then it will give for 2. So 2 means it needs to reach 10, and then length out needs to be 5. So its length is 5 and its need to reach by 10. Another we can, let's write, if we will write from 10 uh, length is equal to 5, then it will write from 10. So that needs to be given, that whether it is from or whether it is from, sorry, it is 2. So it is from, then from is equal to 10 and length is equal to 5. So when it comes to 10, that means it needs to reach 10 by 5 values. So it has reached 10 by 5 values by taking 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. The next is that we can take from is equal to 10, uh, length uh, is equal to, let's say, 10, and by is equal to point 2, right? So it will give from 10, length 10, and by point 2. So it will give 10, 10.2, and the whole length will be 10. So 10, 10.2 up to 11.8. If we will write this uh, as uh, 2 is equal to 10, uh, similarly length is equal to 10, and then pi is equal to 2, then it will give like this. If I will write y is equal to minus zero point 0.2, then it will write like this. So what happens is that pi is equal to minus zero point 0.2. So it needs to decrease it. Uh, it needs to go to up to 10 by decreasing it by minus zero point 0.2. So it will do 10, 10.2, 10.4, and up to 11.8. So I hope it is clear. If it is not clear, please ask, or we will do examples, or maybe it will be clear. So these were like the basics of function and loop, function and sequence. Okay. So now we will do some examples, and then what I want you to do is that firstly check that like in the time of using for loop, if we will just put in it in the command, we know what is the answer. So firstly try it and see that what is your answer, and then uh, whether you have understood on your own that what should be its answer, and then do it in the code. So it will take some time, so take some time, 2 3 minutes for each question, and then let's see. Okay. Okay. So like this is first question. So firstly, think on your own that what should be I. If it is 11 to 13, it is 11, 12, 13, or I takes the values in the next one as 12, 13, 14. So firstly do this, and then see what should be the print value, and what should be the answer.
Ma'am, first,
First. Okay. Any other? I want other people to try also. Uh, and let us just write in the code to that. So what it is written is that for I in 11 to 13, uh, print uh, 1 plus 2I minus I square. So, just a minute. I need to connect the charger. Okay. The first is not the answer, and let me tell you why it is not the answer. Uh, so let's just print it, and this is the answer. So why it happened is that what we have given is that 1 plus 2i minus I square, right? Now, if you will write any command in the R, and you have written uh, it, sorry, if you have written it without any multiplication or division between two symbols, then it will not take it the values. So if I will write 1 plus I minus I square, let me do that. If I will write 1 plus I minus I square, then it will give us this value. But if I will write 2I, it is not giving. It will give the answer if I will write 2 this. So that time it will be this value. So that needs to be remembered, that if you want to do 2 multiplication by I in the time of copy, like when we write it in the pen paper, we do not write. But in the time of R or in the time of any coding, if you want to do the multiplication, there needs to be the sign of multiplication. It will not take it on its own, right? So, for the future also, if there is multiplication, division, or any, I mean, it happens, I think, only with multiplication. So, for us, it is understood, but for R, it is not understandable that the like no operator means the multiplication. It is not understandable to R. So, when it is 1 plus 2i minus I square, the answer will be this, not the first one. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So, the next one. So, here we can see that there is this for I, and when there is double star, so double star is for what?
Power.
Power. Yes, it is for power. So, double star is for power. So, double star 2 means it has square power.
Then option two.
Okay, okay. So we will see which one is true. Okay. So option 2 is minus 6, minus 80, minus 36, minus 60. So that will be the answer. Okay. Uh, the next one is that it is for while loop. So don't write the code firstly. Uh, firstly, like here there is no calculation. So don't write the code. Just do it in copy pen and then see whether your code is correct or not. So this is like 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you say the answer, say it in that form.
Two.
Which one?
Ma'am, two.
Two.
No, 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 no. एक मिनट मैम.
Okay. Take your time.
Three.
Three is the answer.
Ma'am, could you please show second question? Just
This one.
yes. Yeah. Fine. Ma'am. Thank you. The option two is coming,
Option 2.
according to me.
Okay. 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 So firstly we will like let's see here what is going on. So what is given is that y is equal to 5 is given, right? Y is equal to 5 is given. While y less than 20, so right now y is less than 20, this condition is satisfied. So what happens is that print this. So this is helpful. I'm writing helpful for h and then not helpful nh. Okay. Then y is equal to y plus 2. So y is 7, right? So when y is 7, it can print not helpful. So it will print not helpful. Now y is equal to y plus 3. So y is now 7, 7 plus 3, 10. So now y is 10. So 10 less than 20 again. So it will print h and then y is 12. So it will print nh. Now 12 plus 3, 15. So y is now uh, 15. Now 15 is less than 20, so it will print helpful. And then y is 17, it will print not helpful. And then y is 20. So now y is 20. So 20 is not less than 20. So now this will stop. So the answer would be helpful, not helpful, helpful, not helpful, helpful, not helpful. So 2 is correct option. 2 is helpful, not helpful, helpful, not helpful, helpful, not helpful. Right? Is it okay to everyone else?
Yes, ma'am.
Uh, the next one is again on while loop. Uh, so x is 22. While x less than 25, it will do this, and after that it is given if x is equal to 35, break, and then print x. So firstly, like, give it 2-3 minutes and then we will do it together.
Option A.
Option. Okay. Okay. So what it is given is x is 22. Now x is equal to x is square. So 22 is square. 20.
484.
Okay. 484. So it is 484 minus 20. So it is 464. So x is now 464. What it is given if x equal to 35, break. ठीक? Since x is not equal to 35, there is nothing to break. Then print x. So it will print x. So x is 464. Now now it will get another it will next go to while command again. So x is less than 25, x is not less than 25, x is 464. So the inside command will not run. So answer would be 460. So the next one is this. So this is basically the way we have defined the function till now. All you need to do is that define a function. Okay. So define a function y which will have this, and when we will give uh, x value is equal to 2, it will respond. So what can be the right solution in between this? So in which way we can define the function?
Option D.
Option D. Okay. Okay. So let's just see. So the way of defining a function is y is equal to function of x, right? And then we write the function, and in the end we write y of 2. So y of 2 will give us the value. Now the function of x, firstly, so function of x is written in the first one. It is not written in the second one like this, so it is already discarded. uh, Here they have uh, now we can see that which one can be the correct one in this. Now it is square root of exponential x square uh, plus x, right? Minus x to the power. Now you need to know x to the power 5 by 2 needs to write in the bracket. So in this and in this, is not written in the bracket. So it will, I will, if I will write x to the power 5 by 2, it means x to the power 5 by 2, which is in the question. If I will write x to the power 5 by 2, it means x to the power, uh, sorry, it means x to the power 5 divided by 2. So if you will write this, if you will write this, then there is a difference in these two. It will do x to the power 5 as 1, and then this as difference, and this one will do x to the power 5 by 2. So this is a way of writing. uh, and I will suggest, like, for future also, even if the exact bracket sometimes may not be needed, then also try to do, just give that bracket. Okay. uh, like, let's say I'm writing, I want to write a minus 1 by b plus c. Okay. Even if you think that for a minus 1 it is not needed or something like that, like, let's say plus 1, uh, then also write one bracket. So it is always helpful to do this bracket work. I mean, it can see like extra, but that is good. Okay, so fourth one would be the answer, and plus 40, right, just like that. So if you will write this function here and then write y2, then we will have this answer. Whether you have checked the value is this or not, like whoever
Ma'am, I
answered.
Yes,
have.
ma'am. It is same.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, ma'am. Like, yeah, if we are considering first one, like f of curly bracket x, so this is not a correct way to write, no.
Which one? This one?
Like, if we are considering first option, so here
No,
is
I think we can write it like this. You can check. I mean,
okay.
I have not, like, we can check. Let's see. Uh, Here in this, if I will write it like this, will it work? No, it will not work. Sorry. So we
My
cannot use.
keyword was that one only.
Okay, okay. So
So that
we can.
that that's why I asked.
Okay.
Because if we look at the options, so that option.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of way to discard one option, but this is also one of the way that we cannot use the curly brackets, right? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Also, I mean, I didn't know that. I have never used it like this. Okay. So the next question is that here we are writing two variables, basically x and y. So all you need to do is that just copy paste in R and to see which one is the correct option. Also, if you have like here log minus, so if there is minus value will be created, then it can result to an error also. So if there is an error, it's not always because we have it may happen because of the wrong values. So I mean, do it like uh,
None of these, ma'am, because if we look at the quadratic d value is less than zero,
uh,
and
for which one.
no, no. If we are looking the log, so
Hmm.
if we solve this quadratic, this is
Hmm.
no, it's not a quadratic. Here is why.
Why we need it to be quadratic one?
No, no. I was thinking it's to be quadratic, but it's not.
Yeah, I'm asking like why it needs to be quadratic or something like that.
Ma'am, I was thinking like if this is the quadratic,
Okay,
then if we calculate the d value, it should be less than zero. There is no solution. That means the whole value should be a negative,
okay,
and log didn't define for the negative, so this leads to none of this.
okay. But it is not x square, it is x to the power minus 2
Ah,
y
yes,
to the
yes,
power
yes.
minus 2.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Option B.
Option B. B or D?
And B.
D. Okay.
B for Bombay.
Okay. So this. You can try this for other also. Let's say Z uh, 2 1 maybe. What is the value for Z 2 1? Just give it value.
I'm 2.435699.
Okay. Okay. So I mean, if it is understood already, I'm not going to write it in R. Okay. Okay. Uh, Next one is this. We will see some example of sequence. If we will have time also after that, then we will see some loops again so that it will be more clear. Okay.
Option A.
Option A. Okay. Uh, if I will remove this absolute, what will be the answer?
It will be minus 40
Okay. So let us just
minus
write. Your voice is not clear.
44.
So, okay. So if I will write this, it will be this. If I will write absolute and then, so it will just do the positive sign on it. Nothing else. Right? So first one will be the answer. And then because we have not given by or something like that, so it will just give the values directly. Right? Uh, the next one.
B.
Yeah. So B will be answer because it will be firstly it will be uh, minus 25, minus 15, minus 5, 5, 15, 25. In the time of absolute, it will be positive, and in the time of square root taking, it will be 5, and then same values for all these. So it will be this one.
Option A. Option D. D.
A, D. Okay, 30, 20, 10, and yeah. So D
Yes,
will be the
option
answer.
D.
Okay.
Uh, Option A.
Think again, think again.
Option B.
Option B. Option B will be the right one because 2. Okay,
Yeah,
2, that means we want to reach at that point.
150. Yes.
Okay. So is it
Ma'am, but here length how can define? Like why is it should start from 141?
uh, length means the array which we will answer, its length needs to be the 10, right?
Okay, okay,
So if it is 2, then write it from the behind, so it will be 149, and we will write up to the length will reach to 10. So like this.
right. So here also we can write like a by. How many like if we start like a by plus two, then it will goes to 150.
If you will if you will write, if you want 2 to be 150, uh, and you will
Like
write
by
it
two.
by, if you will write just by is equal to 2,
Huh.
but then you need to give from also, no?
Yes.
Because like you have 2, 150, and by is equal to 2, so it will, like, by 2, I mean 150 minus 148, it is
Hmm.
understood, but it will go up to what place, so you need to give from also in that time.
Sure. Hmm.
Okay.
Option D.
Option D. Okay. So 2 minus 150, and a length is 10. So it needs to be minus 150, and since it will go this, so in the negative line we have the increasing one, so it is minus
Option
151.
E.
Huh?
Option E or option D?
It will be option D. If you will write minus of sequence and the values, that means the values will be multiplied by minus. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. But like it will start from 150. Sorry. Yes.
uh,
Which leads to what will the first value? First value will be 159 because it's leading towards minus 150. I'm not sure. I will run in the
no, okay, I will
RNZC.
stand it here, and then, like, running means we need to know for some that what is going on, so that you need to know before. So sequence is sequence, and then 2 is minus 150, and then length is 10. So when 2 is minus 150, always remember that will be the last one. Okay, so 2 needs to be the last one, minus 150. So we will always write from the behind. right? Whether it is positive, whether it is negative. Okay, so since it is negative, so we will write from this. So when you have this line, okay, 0, 1, 2, 10. So if I will write here, and then here you will have -1, -2, let's say -10. So if I will give length 10 and 2 as 10 here, then it will work like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and then 1. But if I will give it here, then it will work if I will give 2 is equal to uh, -10, and then length is equal to 10. Then it will do in that line. So it will be -10, -11, -12, -13, and then up to I think minus 9
Understood.
or something. Okay. So it will, all you need to know, remember is that real line. So don't think about the numbers. Think is an a real line. So in real line it will be -51, 150, -159. And
I
when
was
you
thinking ki like first will be 159, that's true. But I was thinking ki it will go like in a reverse direction. But yeah, that's fine.
okay, okay, no issues. So when it is 2, then the last number would be which
150.
comes here, which
Yes.
comes here. Okay. So that will be this.
Thank you.
Okay. Next one.
Option C.
Okay, option C. It is 111, so 111 should be in last. So this and this can be the answer. Uh, Now, what it is given is that by 11. So basically, minus 11. So minus 11 is 189. So this will be the answer. Here it has done addition, which will not work because it is to, not from, right? So this will not be true. This will be true. Now here it is from
Option B.
option, right? So from it is -6, and then by minus zero point 0.6, and then length is 6. So its length will be 6, and then minus zero point 6, and then it will be -9. And yeah, by minus zero point 0.6 you need to remember it is minus zero point 0.6. Okay, I think along we have not discussed along x, sequence along x. So we have not discussed that, I think. So leave it. Okay, so we will leave these two questions, y of x of 4. We will see that a merge sequence, like how it works. This I think we have discussed in the previous classes. Uh, what will be its answer? Like I have discussed in the previous classes, so you can try on that if you remember. Otherwise, I will repeat it again.
Option C.
Option C. Option C is not the answer. Try it again.
Okay. Then the option A.
Okay. Then though it's okay. Okay. So what you need to
Because
remember is
like
that.
what I am thinking, ki this should be x greater than 5, and we are trying to find the number those who are x greater than 45. So number is 154, 176, 88, 92, 65, 59, and 74, 66.
Okay. So what happens is that when you do x greater than 5, if I will write x greater than 5, okay, then this is the logical operator, and the logical operator will give you true and false. So it will not just give you true, 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 true. It will not just give you true like 8 times if it is like these values. If it will give like for the first one it will give false, for the second one it will give true, then false, then true, false, true, etc. Okay. If I will write like this, if I will write x greater than 5, the answer would be false, true, uh, true, false, true, true, and so on. Right. So that would be answer. So this will
No, no,
not be
this.
answer. What?
Like according to that, so option is not here. And what about the like here we have put it x greater than or equal to 45 and the bracket, the
Yeah,
large bracket.
I will say it. Okay. Okay. If I will write x greater than 45, then it that will be the answer. Now x in bracket x greater than 45 will give you all the values. Okay. So this will give you all the values, and this logical operator will give you false and true. Okay, let's do it in R so that it will be more clear. Uh, okay, so where we can do it like here or only. So let's say x is equal to c. uh, Let me take some starting values: 34, 154, 34, 154, 76, no, 176,
40, 176, 43, 80, 88, and the next, I didn't remember, to
okay, sorry, 92. Let's say up to this 92.
92 and 37.
Okay, so let's say this is x. Now if I will write x greater than 45, so it will give me that x is not greater than 40, 45 for 34, it is false. For this it is true, for this it is true, it is false, true, true, false. If I will write x in bracket x greater than 45, then it will give me all the values which are greater than 45. So x in bracket will give you values, and just x greater than 45 will give you the answer in logical way. Is it clear?
Then option A is correct.
Yes, option A is correct. Next. Next is x in bracket, so it will give you values firstly, and now check what will be the values.
Option B.
So we need to check that for what values of x, x minus 120 is greater than 30. So x minus 120 greater than 30. So this is already negative. This one would be
34 greater
4.
than 30.
And then for 176, it would be, uh, I think, uh, 56. Okay. And then all the values are less than 120. All these values are less than 120. So it will be basically negative, so it is not greater than 30. So only 154 and 176 are the values which are uh, satisfying this condition. So B would be the answer. Next.
Option C.
Option C.
Okay. Okay, so I hope this is clear. So I'm just taking. Okay. So all you need to do is that check for what
X equal to
value.
37. Then to all values is greater than 37.
Okay. So you need to check whether this is true for vertex. I'm sorry, what you were saying, I did not get. Uh, what you were saying, sir?
I was saying, ma'am, ki like if you look the option C, so all value like minimum value is 37. If x equal to 37 or condition is satisfied, then all values should be satisfied. So only check on the x equal to 37, condition is satisfied and will give a value.
Uh,
So that's why.
okay. Okay. Uh, okay. So
Ma'am, what is the meaning of minus?
yeah, exactly. Let me tell you. So if you will have y is equal to 25 to 20, 35, right? Then to read those numbers, we write y2. So y2 means what is the value at y2. So y uh, 2 to 8 will give you all the values in between y2 to 8. And then uh, minus 2 to 8, right? Uh, so what's the thing? Y minus 2 to minus 8 will give you this value 25, 33. Okay. Y is 25, 26, 27,
Okay, like all
32.
the value which were not in the list.
Yeah. Uh, so minus 2 to 8 are basically 27 up to 32 are in 2 to 8. So all the values which are not in 2 to 8.
Yes, like our y is 20, so then 25 to
The
34,
y
2 to
uh,
8.
remove
Option B.
values y 2 to 8 will give you y minus 2 to 8. So this one will be the value.
Yeah, option B.
Now we y2 to it we have already calculated it. So this one was y2 to it. Okay. So up to this we had questions. So these were all the questions I have prepared. Now if you have all any question, any query regarding anything, you can ask.
As for now, no, ma'am.
Huh?
As for now, no, nothing.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Good. Uh, so you can ask in the next class also. You can go through these questions. I will upload the slides and code also. So run it, and then in the assignments which you are having, if you have any doubts, you can ask from that also. I mean, I cannot give you the exact answer, but I can help you in solving. So if there are no questions now, then I will end the meeting. And thank you all for joining.
Thank you.